Hey, what is up, guys? It is time to start another stream. How's everything going? Hopefully we got some people here. Let me go ahead and see. I know I'm a little bit late to my normal start. And nobody's here. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and see if I can turn the shadow cam. Well, shadow is there a little bit. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, anyways, we'll go ahead and catch people as we play. We'll go ahead and just start. See, Omniscience Draft is back. Not really a fan. Hey, Infinite. Welcome back. So, going very anti the norm here. I'm going with Mono Red. Haven't seen Mono Red being played in quite some time, and I figured, you know, I saw a list out there, and I figured, you know, it was maybe worth giving a try. And hello, Richter Scale. I wonder if that's a play on words for Richter Scale. Alright, not terrible. I mean, the light up the stages definitely offer a lot of potential. Not really sure. I like the 10th Street Dodgers will allow me to go into the light up the stage. Especially since now I'm kind of forced to do that. I mean, it's either that or Bone Crusher Giant the Pixie. And let's be honest, at this point it might... Bone Crusher the Pixie might actually just be the play. Because we want to de-ramp him a little bit here. Alright. Never know where to stick this. I know there's a lot of great places I could stick it. Well, that's great. So, Oko just... Well, it just straight up counters this entire deck. I mean, what am I supposed to do once he puts 3 threes? My Bone Crusher Giants aren't going to do a single thing. So, this feels bad territory. I think we're going to need an Experimental Frenzy if we're ever going to come out of this one alive. So, let's go ahead and see if we can get some light up the stage action. Alright, nice Steamkin, that's good. It's gets us on our way to some Experimental Frenzy action. Well, that's just unfortunate. Well, looks like we're not going to be starting off very strong here. In fact, I think this one might already be a loss, and it's only turn 3. And by May, I think absolutely is a loss. I'm gonna go for direct damage and see if there's anything I can do off of that. Direct damage might be my only avenue to victory here. And he's still got plenty of life gain off of the Okos, so we're gonna really need a lot. Land. Great. Alright, another 10th Street, another light up the stage, a lot of ways I can play this. I think at this point the Bone Crusher Giant's going to be used for direct damage. I think we're going to go ahead and light up again, see what we can get. Probably be more land, but I need an Experimental Frenzy if I'm going to be able to even consider coming out ahead. No Experimental Frenzy. Well, guess this one's definitely game already. Did what I could. Okay, well, now he's just flexing on us. That's kind of how I figured a game against an Oko deck would go. He didn't even need to turn 2 Oko me. It was even janky enough where he had a 2-2 for land, and I still couldn't come out ahead. Although, let's be honest, that 2-2 for land is actually... It's alright. I would definitely consider that the 2-2, the flying 2-2, pretty good. Alright, well, 2 Experimental Frenzies and a Steamkin. I guess you can't argue with that. Because we can go Steamkin turn 2 into Bone Crusher Giant turn 3. Stomp, not Bone Crusher Giant. Temple of Silence means he's probably got plenty of removal for my Steamkin, which is a bit of a bummer, but oh well. Worthy Knight, interesting choice there. I think we're going to go ahead and Bone Crusher Giant. There, we'll Stomp the Worthy Knight, and then we'll go ahead and get our Light Up the Stage play. Maybe we can get a land off of the Light Up for next turn. Okay, another Light Up and a Shock, still pretty good. So we got 2 damage. I wonder if this is going to be Orzhov Knights, which could actually be pretty decent for me. Alright. Get rid of that. Let's get our attack in. Gonna have a lot of mana here if he doesn't block. It appears that he will block. So we can't tap our Steamkin, unfortunately. But that is all right. We can go ahead and just drop ourselves a Rimrock? That actually does kind of put me in a dilemma. I mean, Experimental Frenzy would be nice, but I think we're just going to go ahead and drop... we'll just drop a Squirt Spitter. Seems alright. And we could hold up the Rimrock's Boulder Rush on defense. Not that I think I'll need it. Alright. Gotta say that's a bit of a bummer, because now I can't use my Experimental Frenzy anymore. Alright, at least we get our Experimental Frenzy, I guess. And we've got Bone Crusher Giant here in the back. So let's go ahead and see if Experimental Frenzy can still hold its weight in Standard. Definitely worth the trade, considering what we can get off of Experimental Frenzy. I mean, worst case scenario, we've still got Bone Crusher Giant. That does not feel good, though. Seeing that Spawn of Mayhem hitting the board. That definitely puts a lot shorter clock than I originally anticipated. Nice Slaying Fire here to kill the Spawn of Mayhem. And, well, I'm doing this because it gives us to our next card. And it puts the Rimrock in the adventure column for me to use if I manage to not draw into anything good. Kind of wish I could play that Fervent off the top, but, you know, whatever. Alright, Rimrock. I'm kind of debating if I want to use the Rimrock as just a 1 here, trying to go into another. And I think I am going to use the Rimrock as a 1. And it went into a land. Okay, so Rimrock does kind of suck as a blocker, but Bone Crusher Giant can still block Worthy Knight or Murderous Rider, just can't block the Venerable Knight, which is fine. Apparently the opponent definitely picked up on the fact that he can't really attack with too much else. Now he's got a flyer again. Definitely puts him in a good position against us. And he's got a really wide board, which definitely doesn't help me. Alright, double land. Guess that allows us to go into double Rimrock. Definitely not attacking. Now, I'm curious how many attackers he'll go, because my Rimrocks cannot block. So, I assume he knows that, but you never know what opponents know. Interesting. Alright, so I guess there's not a whole lot I want to do here. I guess let's go ahead and get rid of the Murderous Rider and that. It doesn't feel like the greatest of trades, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and every turn the Experimental Frenzy gets a little bit better, having more land on the board. Alright, but we are down to 5 life, so this is when things start to get a little tricky. Okay, well, maybe... Nope, there is no coming back. I think he's just got too many creatures. There's just no coming back from this. I can't stop the Order of Midnight whatsoever. I mean, I can try if I can get another, but that's not going to leave me with enough. Yeah, enough to block with. Yeah. Yeah, I still don't like mono red, but that's not necessarily a great matchup. Well, actually, it kind of is the right matchup. It's just not... I mean, I don't like the Rimrock Knights in an Experimental Frenzy based deck because they can't attack at any point. It just feels like a bad use of Rimrock Knight. I mean, I understand in like a matchup where it's going into the long game or you need to do some tricks, but with a 4 copy of Experimental Frenzy, I feel like it's kind of bad. I did grab this list from the Mythic decks, and to be honest, a lot of those seem pretty bad. I don't think the lists that they got were necessarily the top of the line lists. But yeah, 0-2 right now, kind of embarrassing, and I honestly don't think it gets much better from here. Just gonna be a waste of gold. Probably gonna offset the gold for just the daily wins, but we actually haven't even got our first win. And going second again, not ideal. Gingerbread cabin. I would have expected the matchups to be a little bit more janky considering how bad mono red is in the current meta. Alright, I am aware how good Woodland Champion can be. And I'm also aware that he's probably going to be making a lot of tokens. Alright, Gilded Goose is not terrible for me. Definitely allows me to go into my light up the stage. I could theoretically use the Rimrock there and kill the Gilded Goose. And by theoretically, I mean will. I will do that. Because right now... Oh, whoops. Right now, I feel like the opponent might end up using the Gilded Goose to make a green or blue mana. I think we could use the shock next turn. Savvy Hunter. Alright, we do have another Rimrock, which trades. I think that's just going to have to be the play, unfortunately. I don't really have a preference which one trades for which. Oh, no trade. Okay. Gotta say, was not expecting that. Alright, well, we definitely have to use the shock this turn.
I think might just have to go with Bone Crusher, Giant, and Shock. Oh, you know what? I think the opponent didn't block there because he knew I was going to use the Shock upon the block instead of the Rimrock on the block. Bake into a pie? Okay, weird. Sure. Okay, so I got a lot of options here. Experimental Frenzy probably being the best option. I could play a bunch of things in my hand as well. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Go with the Tin Street Dodger. Rimrock. Rimrock. And that way when I play the Experimental Frenzy next turn, I have all the Rimrocks just in case for later. If I end up getting cards I can't use off the top of my deck. Gilded Goose, okay. Interesting, okay. Well, I guess it wasn't terribly uninteresting that he didn't do anything there. I figured we wouldn't be able to play anything off the top of the deck, so I figured why not just attack with the Tin Street Dodger? Seems like the only good play. None of the opponents have Defender, so that's fine. It is a bit of a bummer that I'm not going to be able to play the Runaway Steamkin. It combos so well with the Experimental Frenzy, but oh well. The opponent having multiple ways to gain life every turn definitely does not make me feel good. We do have a reliable 2 damage every turn, but he's got a reliable 3 life every turn, so not a lot of whole lot I'm going to be able to do with that. Alright, Scorch Spitter, not bad. Land is not terrible. Get rid of his reliable life-gaining creature. There was also a play there where I could have did the Castle Emberth into the Tin Street Dodgers to make them unblockable. And did 4 damage to the face, unblockable, but I figured I want to see how far I can get Experimental Frenzy to go. And at this point, I guess I'll take the Rimrock over a second Tin Street Dodger attack. At least the Rimrock can attack into the Savvy Hunter. There we go. Great Henge. An immediate, was it 2 life every turn? Yep, 2 life. Alright, Tin Street Dodger, sure. Now, do I actually have victory if I would do an all attack here with a Castle Emberth? Ooh, Slaying Fire seems good. Now I get to not have to worry about his creature. And I can't do a Castle Emberth anyways, so we might as well just see how far we can take this. Well, looks like we were at least not getting shut out. That's the good thing. Would have sucked if we went 0-3, but at least we'll get a win. Not going to be great on the spreadsheet, but whatever. There we are. Timeless. Yes, we are hosting the tourney this weekend on Saturday. 10,000 gems up for grabs. Top 2 through 5th place get to share 10 packs. And the best part is Oko is banned. Big deal. I know Oko right now is just too big into the meta, and it's just making Standard not fun. So we're adding the fun back to Standard by getting rid of Oko. Nobody has any idea who's going to win the tournament without Oko wreaking havoc. Alright, so either we're going to lose Experimental Frenzy or we're going to lose Steamkin. Okay. I assume our opponent's got more removal. The Experimental Frenzy being the worst card to him. And he's pinging himself for 2. He must have even more removal. Murderous Rider, okay. Yeah, not much I can do about that. Slang Fire would be a nice piece. Not really sure we get to use it at the moment. Might have to end up using the Slang Fire to kill the Murderous Rider. In fact, that appears to be what the option is going to be here. The opponent has Kaya's Wrath mana. I'm not really sure if he'll... So now I've got Slaying Fire or Bone Crusher Giant Shock. They both do 4 damage, whichever way I do it. But the Bone Crusher Shock way allows me to play Bone Crusher Giant next turn if he board wipes me or plays something else that I don't want on the board. So I think we're going to go with the Bone Crusher Giant Shock. So at least this leaves me with an option next turn. It's not really a great avenue of play, but it was at least something. But it's like drawing 2 cards, and that's what I really like. That Golden Goose can be used as food to gain life, so that's also pretty relevant here. This is 4 damage, 5, 6. Yeah, unfortunately we just do not have lethal. Alright, I'm actually going to do the Castle Emberth here. Do 4 damage to the face, that way it leaves the Slang Fire open for the victory. Next turn. Because I think I'm getting board wiped here. Another golden egg, okay. Now, how much mana is he going to leave himself open, is the question. Thought Eraser, okay, bye-bye Slaying Fire, which really sucks. Really sucks. It wouldn't have really made too much of a difference. If I used the Slaying Fire, then he'd be at 6 right now, or he'd be at 2 right now instead of 4. Okay. That's pretty good, actually. Unfortunately, dude's still going to be at 1 life. Go figure. And that's going to have to make me sacrifice 2 creatures. Bummer. But we got the shock for the victory. Pretty risky play going there with the Liliana rather than the guaranteed life gain. But okay, we'll take it. So definitely not being shut out here. Go ahead and use that mastery orb. Oh, nice. We can use that immediately, actually. Got a Slaying Fire in our deck. Hey, there we go. I wanted the Clackbidge Trolls for future fun decks. Alright. To continue on. At least to get 2 wins back to back when we were 0-2 feels pretty good. At least we're not going to leave this empty-handed. Well, we are going to leave it empty-handed, but at least we're not going to lose a whole lot. After the dailies. Because I don't have a whole lot of faith in this deck. Especially the late game. Like, this hand has no late game. This hand relies on drawing late game. But I think we're going to take it. It's not great. And going second really, really makes it a whole lot worse. But to be honest... Oh, nice. We got rewarded. Truly rewarded for our greediness. Fave Wishes. Decent blocker. Unfortunately, can't do much about it. However, if these Steam kids can manage to stay on the board, which I wholeheartedly expected Clarion, so I don't think they will. Wow, I didn't expect Clarion that fast, but okay. Alright, fingers crossed he doesn't get another Clarion. Fairy Time Reveler. Okay, that's still not terrible. Hey, it's not great. Absolutely not great. We're definitely not out of it, though. Especially since the Teferi will die. Now, the question is, how does the Teferi die? I think the Teferi just dies from the 10th Street Dodger. And then we play our Steamkin as normal. Really wish I could have done... or accomplished more on that turn, but this deck is limited. Yeah, and Fires of Invention is definitely gonna crush me. That Steamkin is just not getting any love from the opponent. Hey, there's a possibility we get lucky and he just has nothing off of his Fires of Invention. I doubt that's a real possibility, but it is a possibility nonetheless. And next turn we've got an Experimental Frenzy, which at least could blow the game wide open. Without a Steamkin, not really sure. Well. I would like to say that's game over. But we're gonna go ahead and play it out because of the Experimental Frenzy. But I don't expect good things to happen. With that top deck of land, I think we can go ahead and get rid of the Narset while we still can. I know this Sarkon's coming up. Alright, so we're gonna do Rimrock Knight into Experimental Frenzy. That way we have access to our Rimrock Knight just in case we get a lot of cards we can't use off of Experimental Frenzy. But I don't predict good things to happen with that Sarkon in hand. 4 damage is a lot to ask from this deck. And an Experimental Frenzy on top pretty much just makes it game. I don't think I need to play that one out. Didn't expect much from the deck. Didn't get much from the deck. To be honest, I don't even want to continue playing the deck at all. I don't predict this deck going anywhere. I know the title's probably going to end up being misleading if I change decks midstream. But that deck is just bad. Really, really bad. I could try and switch to a different mono red deck. I guess that's still an option. See if we can find another one. Alright, unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot of mono red decks going places. That one's from the Aetherhub tournament, so it's not really that crazy. I guess it's a Cavalcade deck. Oh, this guy. I actually lost to this guy in the tournament. You know what? I don't mind trying out his deck. Yeah, but I think that version of mono red was just terrible. Give it a different go. Yeah, I think the Cavalcade version, it's got a lot more direct face damage, and I think that's probably the way to go when it comes to mono red. Because it really does appear the days of outnumbering your opponent's creatures and then a lot of direct damage are just over. So I think this is probably the much better version to play. I'm always torn between Fervent Champion and Spitter, because I know the haste or the Tin Street Dodger. I know the haste is a thing, but I mean the Spitter doubles up. Okay, well, that just makes the decision a whole lot easier. I was gonna consider the Cavalcade there, but having 3 creatures on the board, of which can access the Cavalcade next turn, seems pretty good to me. But I could get Thought Erasered here. And he's paying for it, so he's probably got the Thought Eraser. And he does. Alright, well, maybe the play was probably still the Cavalcade. I just went a little too greedy there. Nice robber, though. Ooh, okay, we can play our opponent's Teferi, although we don't have a land to play it. We got him down pretty low, that's nice. Doesn't appear we're going to be getting to Torban anytime soon. Well, that's one less Kaya's Wrath we know the opponent's going to hit us with. Alright, so I think we're just going to go ahead and grab Teferi here. No more instant speed for our opponent. Oh! Okay, sure. Even if he board wiped me there, at least I got the Grim Initiate with the shock. That would have been game. Already starting off pretty good. I think this one's a little bit better than the other one. As I had mentioned, direct damage being a lot better than what's it, going wide. I see A-Knight's watching the stream right now. Pretty quiet. I guess nobody has any... What's it? Not a crazy great hand. No, I'm not. I guess he's listening. Alright, let's go ahead and if our opponent has removal, which, I mean, he's playing red. Let's go ahead and give him the worst option to remove. Alright, with the Tin Street Dodgers out, at least there's a possibility I can attack even if he drops a decent creature here. War Boss, okay. That definitely is pretty good against this deck. Can't imagine there's too much I can do with 3 lands in hand. Make that 4. Well, if I have one more land, at least I could do the Castle Emberth next turn. But not this turn, unfortunately. I could theoretically double block. I'm not really sure he'll give me the option to double block, but when you're holding 3 lands and you expected to draw non-lands because your hand was kind of bad, the situation gets pretty bad. Dwarf Mine, interesting. We are in the lead, but not for long. 10th Street Dodger, okay. Now, I'm curious if he'll offer the War Boss. If he offers the War Boss, I think he's got removal upon blocking. So I think it would just be a bad idea to block. At this point, I'm kind of hoping for a Cavalcade or a Torban. Although, let's be honest, Cavalcade probably won't get me out of this situation, but I think Torban will. Then again, maybe Torban won't. Oh, now it doesn't matter. If there was any math on my side, now it's not. Chandra Spitfire. Okay, so it was wrong. There is still a little bit of math on my side for now. So we're still a cavalcade away from victory, though. And the opponent's definitely going to get a pretty good attack on us. I have no doubt he'll attack with everything regardless of our Spitfire out there. And that's probably going to get back his Skewer. So that Chandra's Spitfire is not going to live to next turn. So let's go ahead and kill the War Boss while we still can. Alright, he needs to attack with 4 creatures here. And he does. I think I'm toast anyways. Alright. You know, I could have... Oh, no, Spectacle works. Yeah, I'm not 100% positive. I think I've done the Skewer play before, and I'm not sure if I was able to play it or not. I think they may have fixed it. Oh, the light up the stage? Okay. Interesting. So we are 1 Cavalcade away from victory. Unfortunately, we did not get it, but at least the option was there. Alright. There's no coming back from there. But at least it was good to lose against a somewhat similar deck. Okay, not terrible. Wish I was going first. I seem to be going second a lot with a highly aggressive deck, but whatever. Alright, so the opponent does mulligan, also has a Once Upon a Time. Probably going to be... Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting a mountain, so it might be Gruul. If it is Gruul, then maybe the Scorched Spitter is probably not the best idea, since I'm not going to be able to attack on turn 2. So I'm going to go with the Torch Carrier. Courier. Alright, I was right. But I might still be able to attack here. I don't think he's going to block. Okay, Well, it didn't really make a difference in the end, but at least we got the damage in. Bigger question is, what is he going to drop here for 3 to 4 mana? 3 mana. Domri's Ambush, okay. Unfortunately, he didn't use the mana on I'm curious if he'll attack, though. And he's not. Smart. So let's see. We've got Spitfire or Flame. I think we're going to go with Spitfire because we got 2 shocks, which could be used on the face. And that could end the game in victory, but he may have more removal, so we'll see. Scargon Hellkite. Okay, so our 2 shocks going to be used. Oh. I take that back. Can't use our 2. Bummer. Gotta say, the situation is not developing too well. 4. If I use the loyalty counter, it'd still only be 5. So it would die to the Hellkite. Hellkite could also kill the courier. Alright, I think we're just gonna have to offer the courier as a human sacrifice here. See if he'll take the bait. Bummer, he didn't take the bait. At this point, I'm not too certain what I'm gonna be able to do. To be honest, nothing seems like the best play here. Pelt Collector, okay. At least we got shock for that. Oh, a pass. Now that's an interesting play. Cavalcade. Now things have just gotten very, very interesting. The Hellkite. Oh, he's got the 4 mana here. He's gonna use it end of turn. I might just have to suck it up and go with the spit. Or just trade the Hellkite for Spitfire. Alright, it does not appear that I'm even going to get that option. But I think with the Chandra Acolyte, I should be okay. I got shock to the face and Pelt Collector. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna do Pelt Collector. I don't see any other play there anyways. Alright, so we got Chandra Acolyte of Flame. Can do 2 damage each turn. Questing Beast. The only card here that can kill our Acolyte and still be problematic all at once. I think we play our Chandra Spitfire. Great top deck. Next turn we go with the Acolyte of Flame, do our triple attack, and hopefully get victory. If our opponent has removal, it's game over. And Embercleave means game over anyways. Bummer. I should have thought it was a little peculiar that he was using the Paradise Druid to attack, but now it makes sense. Gotta say that one stings. I mean, that one stings a lot. Unfortunately, Hellkite was a really good piece there that can stop a lot of our good plays. Even if we go 1 and 3 here, I still think this one's better, or at least it stands a better chance of winning than the other version that I played earlier. Either way, this version's not for mono red, just isn't very good in general. Okay. Yeah, mono black is pretty good, but I've already played that on stream like a week or two ago. And I try to change things up and play different decks all the time. That way things don't get stale on Thursday and Friday. Oh, I should have did that after the light up the stage. Alright, if I get double land off of light up the stage, I will be disappointed in myself. Okay. Alright, well, that's a major feels bad moment right there. We'll see if that 5th land makes a difference or not in the game. Gotta tell you, that was very disappointing right there. Paradise Druid trades for Robber. I don't like that. Torban seems nice. I'm not sure if he'll block Robber or not, but at this point I'm not really sure if we'll get value off a Robber. Alright. So next turn, if we draw a 2-drop or a 1-drop, we could go Chandra and Spitfire. Okay. That changes everything. We draw land, of course, so I guess we're just going to have to go with Torban. Torban allowing us to attack with Grim Initiate because it does 3 damage immediately. First striked. Interesting to see the opponent actually was able to play Agent and Treachery straight up. So Grim Initiate actually becomes a pretty decent card when Torban's out. Oko, of course, so that's going to make our Torban a 3/3. Because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't Oko make our best card become a worthless card? Oh, and then it's Wicked Wolf! Yay! Ah, don't you just love how great Oko decks are? Anything in the graveyard worth grabbing? We gotta light up the stage. I guess that's something. Not a whole lot I can actually grab. It's kind of a bummer. I feel like I'm behind, but I'm not behind. Hello, MTGA Fights. Welcome to the stream. Slow one today, playing a very unpopular deck. Not been getting a lot of love in Standard, and for the right reasons. To be honest, this deck just kind of sucks. I mean, it's just not doing well. Should I join the tournament tomorrow, or is it going to be full of Oko? Oko is banned for the tourney, so there are going to be 0 Oko decks. If there is an Oko deck or somebody ends up playing Oko, they get removed. Yes, Oko was plaguing the meta. It made me not want to run the tourney, and it made other people not want to join the tourney. So it made the decision very easy. Get rid of Oko. I mean, I personally think that they're gonna ban Oko anyways, but we're banning it early. I'm very dead here. I'm just gonna see what I can get. Yay. Really wish that was like another Torban or a Cavalcade. I gotta say, Scorch Spitter and Shock were probably not really the best of top decks here. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has its moments, but for the most part, Mono Red is pretty bad. There's just not enough 3 damage cards, and with Oko making 3 3s like crazy, it's just impossible to be consistently competitive. The Oko just gives the opponent way too much value. Like, that's as good as playing a 3-3 for free. I mean, and my Shock does literally nothing. Okay, well, that was just unfortunate for the opponent, but... Can I manage to kill Oko here? That creature is attacking. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter if I attack Oko or not. I'm not sure I can even, or if I should. I think I just attack. That's just the way things are gonna have to go here. There's no way I'm coming out of this with the victory, but at least I'll go out with a bang. What rank is this? We're playing in Constructed. Okay. Alright, those are not terrible trades, because then it gets rid of... Then our opponent doesn't have very threatening cards on defense. Gotta tell you, I'm not very mad about these blocks. I'm probably just going to use the Chandra Minus in order to use our Light Up the Stage. I mean, he's obviously going to do the Gilded Goose, which is going to get him more and more life. I mean, I've lost this one. It's just a matter of how badly have I lost this one. Because Oko just giving our opponent 3-3s like crazy off of his Gilded Goose every single turn. I mean, Gilded Goose plus Oko making a 3-3 for 2 mana every single turn is just unbeatable.
In fact, our opponent somewhat toyed with us because he didn't even bother to block the Grim Initiate. There is literally nothing that could save me. I could get another Oko right now, or I could get another Chandra Spitfire right now, and then Oko would just make it useless. See, nothing. There's just literally no way I can win this. Because I could do the 10 Street Dodgers, make them unblockable, go to the face, which would be 2 damage off of the Cavalcade and 4 damage off of the 10 Street Dodgers with the Castle Emberth, doing 6 damage a turn. And he could offset 6 damage a turn with the Gilded Goose alone. And there's no way I can save the Chandra here either. Not when he's got Wicked Wolf and a food token to attack with. This deck is just so unplayable right now with Oko. Oko just counters this deck entirely. He's even mocking me right now by attacking with the Paradise Druid, basically saying, I don't need this, I can make it 3/3 every turn. He didn't even bother attacking with his food token. And I drew land because, you know, I'm badass like that. I'm surprised he's doing that pre-block. At least it's safe to say the 5th land wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, you're right. At the beginning. Oh, good memory. It's so sad because these food tokens are literally going to be my demise here. You know what? I might be able to get rid of Oko. Thanks to the castle. I probably could have attacked a little bit smarter there. Oh wait, no, I had to attack that way. Otherwise, he would get 1 less ping. Actually, it looks like 1 less ping wouldn't have made a difference. Oh, yes it would, because then Oko would be at 1. No, that was the right decision. Hey, look, I have a blocker for the Chandra. Draw 3 cards. Oh, boy. I would not be shocked if he got another Oko. And he'd play it on me just to flex. Hey, there it is. Another Oko. Yay. Lol. Making his own Gilded Goose at 3/3. What a flex. Chandra's Triumph does 5 damage if you have Chandra out. Or 3 damage if you don't, but there's no guarantee. Ooh, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this for real right now? I can kill his Oko. Wait. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, and I don't have death either. Okay, so even if... Let's see, we got... Oh, doesn't matter. He's just toying with me. Wow, this is going to be a short stream. This deck is just so bad. I mean, I generally do 3 constructeds, but this is like really bad. Neither version is even a little bit good. Alright, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play the Gruul deck for the last one. Torch Courier, I believe, was in the deck, or at least it was in the other version. I'm not really sure. Not that it really made a difference. The deck is just so uncompetitive right now. Alright, I'd say going first is pretty good. I'd very much like to get myself a turn 3 questing beast. Curious Pair, interesting choice there. I don't see a lot of people even bothering to try Curious Pair. It's not very good. Thrill of Possibility, interesting. Ooh, a Troll King deck. What would you say Gruul's worst matchup? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd say its worst matchup is going second against an Oko deck. Any version of the Oko deck. Yeah, but it's still the worst matchup. Regardless if it's true for everybody or not, it's still the worst. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's assume he makes the best block here, which would be... Doesn't really matter, one of these two. That allows us to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. Okay, so... Could be victory here. You should speculate on the meta without Oko. In all honesty, I have no idea what the meta outside of Oko is going to be. I really could not begin to guess either. So let's see. Putting Colossus on Paradise Druid actually feels like a pretty bad idea. Glad I didn't do it. Why did our opponent just give up? He didn't even see the Colossus. Interesting. Hopefully we can get some of the gold back here with... Oh, I forgot to update my constructed records on the spreadsheet. Let me go do that. I got a 1 and 3 and a 2 and 3. Alright, that's my first 1 and 3 of the season. Today's date, 11/8. Mono red. Obviously 3 uncommons. 11/8. Mono red. I probably called it something else, but just MR should be good for now. Ooh, okay, nice. Once Upon a Time. Tin Street. Ooh, okay. A little bit of a reverse of the previous games. Oh, it looks like Shadow moved. Probably get rid of that. Still unsure if I actually want to use the Once Upon a Time for a land or not. I think it really depends on what my top deck's going to be. Oh yeah, we definitely... Well, a Hellkite. Okay, so let's see. If I were to take the land, that would allow me to consistently get into Bone Crusher Giant or Spellbreaker next turn. If I were to take the Hellkite, there's no guarantee because the Paradise Druid would need to be on the board for me to get extra mana, so I think it's just safe to say we grab the Mountain there. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that now before he gets an opportunity to play 2 cards in response. Interesting choice there. Thrill of Possibility. What the? Okay, well, I think we're probably favored here. Oh, bummer. I can't play Pell Collector and Paradise Druid like I wanted to. Alright, I guess we just take the Bone Crusher Giant then. I could go with the Gruul Spellbreaker, though. I think I can outrace them, actually. Let's go with the Spellbreaker. No. God, I'm so torn. There's so many plays I want to make. All right, you know what? Let's just go with the Paradise Druid here, because I think next turn I could go Pelt Collector into Bone Crusher Giant. And I think he's holding up Shock for whatever I drop there. Or at least there was a pause there, which makes me believe he might be holding Shock. Obviously not blocking that. Alright, a little bit of a bummer, but oh well. I was right about the Shock. But at least I got the 2 creatures out. It's kind of the goal. Questing Beast is pretty good in this matchup, so if the Paradise Druid could stay alive and I can get Questing Beast on the board, I'd be pretty happy. Does this do damage? Okay, hold on. Deals combat damage to an opponent. It deals that much damage. Okay, so it still does damage. So it still hurts the Chandra, but I think that's okay. Oh, I actually don't have double green. Okay. I don't even want to bother giving him the second card, so I'm going to go ahead and offer a block. I learned not too long ago, well, actually it was quite a long time ago, that Chandra can only deal as much damage as she has loyalty, unlike some other cards out there that deal damage equal to the amount of damage it took. So I only take 5 damage there and not 8, because it easily could have been 8. If the card were written any differently. Ooh, he's really going all in now. Alright, let's go ahead and Spellbreaker. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Bone Crusher Giant on Tin Street. Unfortunately, I don't want to do Spellbreaker Haste because of the electrostatic field. So I'm going to go with Bone Crusher Giant. Well, let's just see what he offers. I'm gonna go with the Bone Crusher Giant anyways, but would have been nice if he would have offered the block. So let's fingers crossed he doesn't have Slang Fire here, because that would do 1 damage off the Electrostatic Field, and 1 damage off the Scorch Spitter would kill me. I take it by the long pause there that he doesn't have a whole lot of options available. Okay, that's not going to be enough. That's going to drop me down to 1, though. Shadow, you got to go. Alright. Good game. So obviously you can see the Gruul deck is just kind of superior right now to the mono red deck. As much as I wanted mono red to become a thing, it just does not appear that it's gonna be. I'm still very unclear on what deck I'm going to play in tomorrow's tourney. I know what deck I'm considering playing the most, but it's really going to be a split decision if I want to, if I'm gonna play it or not. All right, I don't really see a reason why I would pass up Questing Beast. Unfortunately, no turn 2 play. I was actually kind of hoping to get a turn 2 play off of Once Upon a Time, but didn't get it. I would not say Mardu Knights. I would probably say Rakdos Knights. I did okay last week with the Rakdos Knights deck. 2 of my 3 losses ended up being against Oko decks, which, in all honesty, I kind of gave up on. Like, I didn't even try my hardest at all when I was playing them. Which kind of really, I mean, I might have stood a chance, but I was just so done with Oko. I didn't even bother trying very hard. Kind of gave my opponents free victories. Not very smart on my end. Alright, so I think our opponent might be playing the Flash deck. So if he is playing the Flash deck, what I'm going to want to do here is play reactionary. So I'm going to attack. And then he's probably going to bring something out. In which I'll hit it with a Bone Crusher Giant. After he brings it out. Put full control mode on. Go ahead and get rid of it so he can't counter it. Because it doubles as a creature here, and if he counters the Bone Crusher Giant, like if I play it on his turn and he counters the Bone Crusher Giant, then I'm not able to play it as a creature. At least this way, I get rid of his creature guaranteed, and I can still play the Bone Crusher Giant. If it gets countered, at least I got to use it for a little bit of value. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm avoiding the Quench. I'm going to play the Bone Crusher Giant and play around Quench. Ooh. That's good. That's very good. In my experience, it's best to play this fast. Okay. Not terrible. Well, there is a reason for playing fast, and then there's also a reason for playing around Quench. But I think we're going to go ahead and play the Spellbreaker here right now because it gives him the option to Quench or not to Quench. And if he plays, well, Frilled Mystic, at least I get, now I know about the Frilled Mystic and I can attack with the Paradise Druid if I want. Which, I will attack with the Paradise Druid. Because I'm fine with any of those trades. I kind of figured he'd block Pell Collector anyways. Now, I didn't think he would block with the Spectral Sailor there, but oh well, it's not terrible. So, we're not playing anything right now. What we're going to do is, we're going to play the Bone Crusher Giant in response to whatever he flashes. And hopefully go for the win. And that should be it right there. Can't Quench either. Gotta love when you can outflash a flash deck. But then again, going first definitely helps. Thank you, I appreciate the compliment. But when you have got flash plays against the flash deck and you get to go first, it always makes a world of difference. Because if you're just playing into every counter, there's not a whole lot you can do. But if you get to play around the counters, it makes the whole world of difference. I don't like going second here, but we'll go ahead and see what happens. I'm going to go once upon a time early instead of going once upon a time later. I'll probably do it after dropping my first land to see what my opponent's deck is before. But I think we're gonna do the once upon a time after one turn rather than two, because I want to know if I'm gonna get a big creature, if I'm gonna need, or like what I'm gonna need to grab. Oh. Okay, well that may make decision making a whole hell of a lot easier. Another land. Alright, now that we got this much land, I think it's going to be a very easy decision not to grab land with Once Upon a Time. Grim Initiate, okay. Okay. Now that he's tapped out, we can go ahead and play our Once Upon a Time. Bone Crusher Giant feels like the best play here. It gets it 2-for-1s. Another Bone Crusher Giant feels really good. Alright, we get to see what he's going to drop before we play our Bone Crusher Giant. Cavalcade. Alright, now that we know he's got the Cavalcade, we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Spitter because the Spitter doubles up on damage. And I wish I could drop 2 creatures next turn, but it does not appear that I'm going to be top decking. Yep, didn't think so. Alright, so I've got a few choices here. I think we're going to just go ahead and play the other Bone Crusher Giant on defense. There might have also been a reason to just play the Stomping Ground with the Bone Crusher Giant and kill his Fervent Champion to decrease the amount of damage I'm taking from the Cavalcade. But I kind of wanted to have a defender here. I don't like how I just now realized in my own head that I can get first striked by either of these two, so we're going to go ahead and pick the Tin Street Dodger here. Because I think the shock is coming, and I'd rather not get a first strike and get a trade. All right, so I was right about the Tin Street or about the first strike play with the Fervent, or with the Fervent Champion and the Grim Initiate. So that's at least good. Now I get to do a Bone Crusher Giant. Let's go ahead and play our Zertog Goblin. We'll Bone Crusher Giant the Fervent Champion when it goes to the battle step, to get the most value and the most information. Double Cavalcade, okay. I do feel like I've got a good shot at winning this, but definitely not in the bag. I mean, I still have a lot of ground to make up right now. He's got 18 life, and that's a nice questing beast. Good, good. Alright, remember, he could always draw another 10 Street Dodger or another Fervent Champion, and this one could be over. So, we're definitely not counting this one done yet. Okay, now we can start to victory lap him a little bit. Now that he's shown he's got nothing. Alright, unfortunately I don't have 4 direct damage, but let me see if I can get 4 direct damage. Yep, good game. Definitely a good decision there to see what I could get before I end up playing. 4-0 so far. You know, this deck is actually overperforming right now, and without Oko in the meta. You know, I still like the deck that I used last week, but I just don't want to use it again. The Rakdos Knights did very good in every single game that wasn't Oko, and I think without Oko, it might actually stand a pretty good chance of being, like, a winning deck. Oh yeah, I guess I can update the list on Aetherhub. I haven't changed the list at all, and I think the Gruul list is still there. Let me double check. I've updated it so you can see it now. Let's see. Harpooner, Pelt Collector, Zertok Goblin, Hellkite, 2 Ember Cleaves, 3 Colossus. Yeah, this seems right. It seems to be what I'm using. I don't like how this list has got 4 lands, or this hand has got 4 lands, but going first, I think it's playable with the Spellbreaker. I might play the Spellbreaker for 4/4 just so I can go into the Ember Cleave, maybe. But I would actually need a 5th land in order to go into Ember Cleave. So actually, I need to draw a creature here. And that way I can go creature, Spellbreaker, Ember Cleave. Well, okay. We don't have another green source, so still can't go creature, creature, Ember Cleave. I can only go creature right now. Still do not have it. And because of our opponent's colors here, we're going to go with haste. Because I have a feeling that Spellbreaker is going to be put right back into our hand in a moment here. Oko. Or an Oko, sure. Green land. Well, it wasn't a green land, but at least I can get a green land. Alright, I cannot afford to let my opponent make that a 3/3 creature. I just can't. I know it's a real bummer. It feels bad doing that, but Oko is a very problematic card. Oh. I don't like that. That feels pretty bad. At least I get 1 attack off of him. And he's been pinging himself. Oh, I know this could still do okay, but now I'm down to 1 creature. I've got everything resting on 1 creature, and knowing just how deceptive our opponent's deck can be, having 1 creature on the board is definitely no guarantee. Keeping 1 creature on the board is no guarantee. See, there's an Oko.
I assume he makes our questing beast a 3/3. Yep. Okay. On the bright side, he didn't make a token here. Let's see. If I attack, that's gonna make Embercleave go down to 5 mana. I've got 6 mana, so I can't play Bone Crusher Giant or Zertog Goblin. Actually, I can play Zertog Goblin and attack and then make the Embercleave lower, but that becomes problematic because then he could just block with the Wicked Wolf. The question is, do I think he'll block the Zertog Goblin, or do I think he'll block the Questing Beast? I think I'm just going to go ahead and take a Hail Mary here. I guess either situation's still good with me, because if he blocks the Zertog Goblin, I still get the Oko kill. Smart. Very smart. The opponent definitely saw what we were up to. Oh, I absolutely could have gone face, but because there was no lethal, it wasn't worth going face. But if lethal was an option, yeah, I would have gone face. But lethal just wasn't. Yeah, I gotta do it. I probably should have played the Zertog Goblin there. But I was thinking in my head, let's go Bone Crusher Giant, and then Bone Crusher Giant again. And I didn't have enough mana to do that. Where am I streaming from? The good old US of A. Oh, what am I? I am so stupid. God damn it, guys. Guys, why did you not remind... Oh, wait, no, Questing Beast is an elk right now. Never mind. Okay, maybe I'm not as stupid as I thought. Okay. Never mind. For a second, I was like, why did I even bother attacking Oko with Questing Beast? Yeah. That worked out as perfect as possibly could be. There's also a theoretical probability that I move the Embercleave over to the Bone Crusher Giant, depending on the outcome of this Once Upon a Time. Well, that's not ideal. Wait, that's victory. Oh, nice. Good game. Sweet. I did it. I beat the mighty Oko deck. I can't believe our opponent went for the greed there. Then again, I guess first striking both of his creatures on defense is probably not a very good play either. So he kind of threw a Hail Mary shot out there and it didn't connect. Indeed, it was a very good game. Yeah, that is true. Not everybody who plays is a good Oko, but I think he played as best he could. I think some of his attacks and blocks were questionable, but still, he did pretty well.
Alright, this one definitely has a large upside if that Once Upon a Time can get me a good creature here. Ooh, a mountain. Okay, what I really, really want more than anything right now is a Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, well, I've already got 3 lands. And I think what I need more than anything right now is just creatures. I think we'll be just fine with extra Spellbreakers out. Late game, the Hellkite could be a real problem for a red deck player. So it's worth the risk and the keep. It's surprising how many people play mono red instead of Gruul. I know, right? Right now we've got literally just as many we've got just as many wins as our 2 constructeds put together. Let's go ahead and see if he'll take the block. I don't think he will. Anybody with half a brain wouldn't block there. But you never know. Sometimes people are crazy. I was going to play the Spellbreaker regardless. Maybe playing the Spellbreaker for 3/3 there might have been what in the world is that? Whenever attacks, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn? If that wasn't 1/1, that would be pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good right now, but now we know to leave up an extra blocker. Now, do I use the Once Upon a Time here just to get an extra land so I can go the Hellkite next turn? I'm not sure. It's definitely a decision. I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Just guarantee ourselves the land to get the Hellkite next turn. Ooh, that is far from a guarantee. Now, do I take the Goblin just to play this turn and try to go aggro? Or do I take the Questing Beast and try to go for the late game? I think because of the Spellbreakers in my hand, I can afford to be going a lot more aggro than our opponent is. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And I think we're just going to go ahead and try and outrace our opponent. Even though the opponent's got a unique card on the board that allows him to do cool things. It's only a 1/1 still, so it's not like I'm too worried about it. There used to be a card called On-Crop Crasher that did the same thing, but at least it was a 3/2. Although it did become tapped next turn. Like it wouldn't untap. I'm pretty sure it was called On-Crop Crasher. But the fact of the matter is my Gruul Spellbreaker has trample, so that's all that we really need. Claim. Ooh. That's not good. I forget. That does something if it's a 3 or... Oh, converted 3 or less. Okay. Makes sense. Ooh. Do I have... Can I get victory next turn? That's a little scary. He's actually outraced me quite well. What?
The freezer is too close to the fireplace. You have to move that.
The what?
The freezer is close to the fireplace.
It's been there for ages. It's not moving.
Yeah, it was close to the table.
It's
You
fine.
forget. I don't know.
Why did our opponent show us cards? Oh, those are light up the stage cards. Okay, that makes sense then.
go ahead and say our celebratory good game. And I think that might make a 6-0. Our opponent got a little too greedy last turn. Probably should have saved that claim the firstborn for lethal, but oh well. That was actually the worst block he could have made. The best block he could have made would have been the Harpooner to prevent 3 damage. And you would have been at -2 instead of -4. Not that it would have made a whole lot of difference anyways. Alright. Magical 6-0. Doing pretty well. Oh, I think I'm doing very well as well. Thank you. I feel like I'm killing it as well. Especially after we went 5 and 6 with our mono red deck. Well, let's see which version our opponent's playing. He could be playing the blue version. Okay, still don't know what version our opponent's playing. And it's a Gilded Goose. That's a bummer. Well, I guess we're going to have to Bone Crusher Giant that Gilded Goose. I think we're going to have to take a land here. I think we're going to go ahead and make it a green land because we don't have a second green source for our Questing Beast. And no turn 2 Oko for you, sir. But it appears that turn 3 Oko might be a possibility. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, crap. That's an easy kill on my Questing Beast. Feels bad. If he attacks, though, which he didn't. Okay, well, I was thinking I could have did a Spellbreaker plus a Once Upon a Time, but considering he didn't attack, we just gotta take what he gives us. Or maybe Once Upon a Time Bone Crusher Giant. We'll have to just see what's going on. I think he might be playing mono green. The Gilded Goose is a little surprising in a mono green. Ooh. That hurts. That might be game right there. I guess the magical 7-0 does not appear that it's going to be in the cards. Unfortunately, it's just... Wow, that's it. That's a good game right there. I had a shot. I mean, this Bone Crusher Giant would have made our dude a 3-3, and then a Spellbreaker making our dude 4-4. There was a shot, but I think that definitely kills the shot. Nope. Lot of creature removal, planeswalker removal. Yeah, our opponent's green deck was pretty balanced there. I did like that though.
If the tournament were best of one, I feel like that was actually a pretty good deck. I'm not sure the consistency of that deck can be managed. And plus, I think now without Oko, the deck is going to have a lot more of a control presence. Because I'm leaning a little bit more toward a control type of deck. Not necessarily a control deck specifically, because everyone knows when you're streaming control, your opponent... Well, unfortunately, your opponent has an idea of what cards you might be playing. Not every single person is going to turn off the stream. So, you generally want to play more on the aggro side. That way, the opponent looking at your cards is not even a factor. I think I might do the Spellbreaker play here and attack with Paradise Druid. Okay. Looks like that is exactly what I'm doing. Next here we got Hellkite. Does he make it 4/4? Yes, he does. I really should have considered making that a 5/5, but... yeah, I think I made the right decision. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's done. Yeah, I agree with that statement there. It's cheap. It's very, very cheap for a person who's just starting to play. I would not recommend it in the slightest. I would recommend UW Flyers for a person who's just started the game. I've got a really nice UW Flyers list on my Aetherhub page. I can go ahead and show it now. Just let me go ahead and do this. Oh, let me update that. 7 wins. We got ourselves a... today's date is 11/8. We got 1 loss, and that is Gruul, Aggro, and we got ourselves 3 rares. Not bad. Alright. Alright, and the UW Flyers list that I mentioned just now. So, the thing that's good about the UW Flyers list is that it's very... like, the deck has got a lot of room for improvement, alright? If you're just starting out. So, for instance, Hushbringer... hold on, let me put the sideboard in here. So, for instance, you don't need Hushbringer. You can play Terramander, Cerulean Drake, instead of Hushbringer. You can upgrade to Hushbringer later. You don't need Tomik. Again, Terramander, Cerulean Drake can be a replacement for Tomik. Safara Skyblade can be replaced with Venerated Loxodon, Unbreakable Formation, even a Mu Yang Ling or Winged Words. Although I would recommend Unbreakable Formation, Winged Words, and Venerated Loxodon as 1/1 trades. And then the rare land, the Hallowed Fountain, can be replaced with Azorius Guildgates. And then the Empyrean, and then the Brazen Burrowers can be replaced with Mu Yang Ling or Winged Words. So again, specific replacements. Hushbringer Tomik can be replaced with Terramander, Cerulean Drake. Brazen Burrower can be replaced with Mu Yang Ling or Winged Words. Safara can be replaced with Winged Words, Unbreakable Formation, or Loxodon. So you actually don't need any rares to play this list. It can be upgraded by rares, and the sideboard is more of a maybe board than a sideboard because you're not actually using these in a best of 3. These are more of, these are the cards you would upgrade for the future.
But the deck is very cheap, very easy, and it does pretty decently well in Constructed. I don't think it would do very well in Ranked, but it does well in Constructed. And the list, like I said, is on my Aetherhub page. I should probably put in the... Actually, you know what? I should probably just do that now. My decks. I'm about to end the stream anyways. I know we're only an hour and 48 in, but we've done 3 constructed, and that's what I usually do. So I might as well just update the list with our remaining time. Alright. What'd I say? Okay, so the sideboard. Alright, let's go ahead and go to our description. Just go ahead and lower that stuff. Get rid of the formatting, make it left side. Alright, so for... Oh, that is bolded. I don't want it to be... Alright, there's a way to do this. I honestly don't remember. Oh, wow, he's actually added a lot more options here.
If you stream it, they will come.
Whatever, we'll just do that. For free to play... Here are the replacements, and you can work your way up to the deck currently shown. Hush Bringer and Tomik. Let's see. Equal to, or well, let's see, is it greater than equal to? Yeah, greater than equal to Pteramander or Cerulean Drake. Let's see what else we've got here. Brazen Burrower can be replaced with Winged Words or Wingwords, Dovin, or Mu Yang Ling. What was that card called again? It was Brazen Borrower or Burrower? Borrower. Brazen Borrower greater than or equal to Winged Words Dovin Grand Arbiter. We'll get rid of the comma there. Or Mu Yan Ling. Sky Dancer. Alright, what else do we have here? Safara Skyblade. Safara Skyblade greater than equal to Winged Words. I think they actually give everybody a Loxodon. So I think everybody should have one. I think it's in one of the pre-built decks. Or Unbreakable Formation. So there's a reason why I said Winged Words first in these two. It's because Winged Words is uncommon, whereas those two are mythic and these two are rare. Yeah, rare. There we go. Okay, there we go. I've been meaning to do that for a while now. Anyways, let's see. Who do I want to hit up with a host? Is there anybody online? Part of Team Aether. We got... Wow. Not a lot of people streaming these days. To be honest, it feels like Magic is basically right now for big streamers. I haven't seen a lot of the, or at least not a lot of the Team Aether members streaming. I've had a lot of the just bigger ones that I follow streaming. A lot of the medium people aren't streaming anymore, or they're waiting for the next set to be released. Other thing, let me go ahead and point it out here. I don't believe the guy who gave this to me is here today, but I will be opening this on stream tomorrow, as I won this from Darth Heretic with his giveaway last Saturday. And because Darth Heretic is such a nice guy, he heard that I didn't actually have very many Magic cards, that he threw in a set of card sleeves and then 2 starter boxes. I didn't even know Magic had starter boxes, but your path begins here as a black mage, as a blue mage. 2 ready to play 30 card decks. Okay, interesting. But we'll open all of that tomorrow's stream. I'm debating, I'll probably open it before the tournament begins, and then I highly doubt I'll be done with the actual card opening, so we'll continue opening the cards after the tournament ends. Anyways, thank you guys for sticking around. Oh, and then last thing. Because I'm going to have Magic cards, and because I like the way Amazonian runs their stream, after I open those cards, every single time somebody subs, I will write their name down on a card, and whenever I go to like a local card shop or something, and play that deck, people will be able to see it. That'll be really cool, because I think I'm going to try and get my friend RC to maybe start playing Magic, or at least I'll maybe be able to build 2 decks, and my friend RC can play with my decks. So hopefully that box has got enough cards for more than 1 deck in there. I think with just, all 5 of the color combinations, I might be able to make a monocolor deck of each. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for sticking around. Let's go ahead and finish today's stream. Thank you. See you tomorrow, bright and early, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We've got, hold on a second here, public tourney. We've got our Oko band tourney. And let me go ahead and log out. Log in. I'm just seeing how many people have signed up for it. Okay, so we got 27. So we have almost exactly as many people as last week. And I think we started the tourney with about 50 people. So a lot of people show up last second because they don't want, they want to be able to pick their deck up to the very last moment. And it sounds like Balthiar wants to probably wait till the very last moment to pick his deck as well. And I'm doing the same thing. I haven't even joined my own tournament yet. But we got, looks like 27 people signing up because they've got their deck already locked on. Okay, anyways, now I'm getting off.